Hello, everyone. A common question that gets asked is how can I tell a dinosaur bone from a regular rock? Well, there are certain characteristics and certain features that dinosaur bones have that a typical rock in the field do not have. And so I have a couple of dinosaur bones, uh, at least pieces of dinosaur bone, and I want to talk about the difference between a dinosaur bone and a regular rock you may find in your backyard in the field or something like that, because some people may get a regular rock confused with a dinosaur bone based on the shape, but there are certain features of bone that lets us know that this is a fossil bone. So here are pieces of dinosaur bone here. This is a fragment from a dinosaur bone, and this is a fragment from a dinosaur bone. So the reason how we can tell a dinosaur bone, or the reason why we can tell the difference between a regular rock and a dinosaur bone, is because if you look here, it still has that bone-like feature. Even though that this is a fossil, it's still, even though that it's mineralized, and even though that it is a fossil, it's been replaced by minerals. You can still see it has that texture, that bone texture, even though that it's been replaced by minerals and it's now pretty much fossilized. It still has that characteristics of bone. So, like I said, even if it is a fossil, it still has that bone characteristics. These are pieces of hadrosaur bone, and here you can see it has the marrow. Rocks don't have that. It still holds that characteristic of bone. You can see those small, tiny little pores inside of this particular dinosaur bone fragment here. It still has those pores, that bone marrow, after 70 million years. And here's a regular rock. You can see it doesn't have that structure to it. This is a piece of sandstone. It's a mixture of quartz sand and that has been lithified together. It does not have that characteristic of bone at all. It has a sandy texture to it, and the sand has been lithified into this piece of sandstone, so you can tell that this particular rock here is very different from this fossilized bone because it does not have those characteristics. Another way that paleontologists can figure out fossilized bone in the field from a regular rock is that if you lick it, it's very common that paleontologists go out in the field and they lick the bone to see if it sticks to the tongue. As I said, those pores are inside of the bone, and so that those pores will stick to your tongue because of that bone marrow. So this is a pretty good angle where you can see it now. Are those little tiny holes? That is the bone marrow in this fossilized dinosaur bone. And so, like I said, you can find different characteristics to tell fossilized bone from a regular piece of rock like this.